By early 1945, Japan is plainly beaten. On any objective measure, the Japanese Empire cannot win the war. But the Japanese culture, military culture especially, will not allow the Japanese to acknowledge that. So Japan has to be battered into submission. To do that, the Allies, the Americans especially, need to build air bases. To build air bases, they need islands, and if they need islands, they need Okinawa.
For the invasion of Okinawa, 430 assault transports had been loaded at 11 ports from Seattle to Leyte. On April 1st, 1,300 ships were massed offshore, and the first waves of the 155,000 men of General Simon Bolivar Buckner's 10th Army, 3 Marine and 4 Army divisions began going ashore. They met very little opposition, but before the island fell, American forces involved would have numbered 300,000. General Ushijima, commanding the Japanese 32nd Army, had pulled his forces back, deciding not to contest the landing, but to meet the invasion south of the Shuri Line. By the end of the first day, Buckner had 60,000 men ashore.
General Ushijima's strategy to defend Okinawa is to sell it at the highest human price. So he doesn't waste lives meeting the Americans on the beaches, for example. Japanese withdraw into the interior and they basically say, come and get us. And that means the Americans have to expend lives in order to kill Japanese in order to gain victory. And the Japanese strategy is about the most simple and brutal that you can imagine.
The ships riding at anchor tell a different story. The invasion fleet was battered by the Japanese weapon of last resort, the suicide bomb.
Just minutes after 4 o'clock. It hit the superstructure. Everything went black. We knew we were hit because we were aft, we were machinery aft. Machinery forward was still good.
Over the next few days, the Japanese launched kamikaze assaults on the invasion fleet, which did not wholly relent in all the weeks of fighting that lay ahead.
Here, a Japanese V pilot has ended his career with a direct hit on a carrier of the Essex class. He's caused casualties and damage on board an enemy ship, and it's for just that purpose that his own life was written off from the first day of his training.
By the end of the Okinawa campaign, the suicides of 1,465 kamikaze pilots had accounted for 29 ships sunk, 120 damaged, and 3,048 sailors killed.